Got ourselves Yi over on the team 1 versus Cyrex. And we got ourselves an Assassin's Rogue versus Subtlety. I think, honestly, it's an even match. Honestly, a very even match, man. Because Yi could just outright blast Cyrex. He has Cloak of Shadows, but those bleeds are just gonna melt ya. Once you bleeds are in with the Vendetta and everything, you're dead. So it's really gonna come down to who bursts the other first, who pops the trinket first, who has the defensives. But with Yi and how much burst damage he's got, he could be really the competitor. Going to be a Shadow Strike opener by Cyrex. Disarm immediately onto the Sub-Rogue as he goes for a disarm onto Yi. Does Yi decide to trinket out of this one? I highly doubt it. Cyrex with a kidney shot. Does Yi choose to trinket out of this one? I think he's expecting some cooldowns out of Cyrex. Blind to follow. Cyrex can trinket blind as well. I feel like if Cyrex just trinkets some blinds, he just wins this by default. If Cyrex waits this will last for a little too long, if he makes a mistake and trinkets at the wrong time, he could be in a bit of trouble. This is really up to Yi. Can he use his burst the fastest possible? Does Cyrex just go immediately trinket, try to see if he can find him? Wait, Cyrex, what are you trinket? I think he was expecting big burst on Yi, and that's gonna be big Vendetta! Oh my god! Oh, I don't know what he trinketed. I think he was expecting the kidney shot out of the sap. I think it was literally like, you know what? There's definitely gonna be a kidney shot at the end of the sap. Trinket! That, or he wanted to surprise Yi with a last minute trinket to try to see if he can get a setup on him. Gonna be a Garrote into Awesome with immediate disarm. Gonna be immediate disarm into Yi, however. Disarm and Awesome, not letting him for Saphir roll right now for Awesome. Trying to see if he can close the gap. Yi beats him with a kidney shot. Does he have the big Vendetta? Commits a Vendetta. Massive damage as Yi just takes him out. This guy's assassinating those boys in the most literal way possible. He's living up to that Assassination Rogue name. Yi, trying to see if he can take him out too fast. Is gonna go for the blind, just go full reset onto Yi. I think he decided to go for a reset. I think he wanted to go for a stun, but he realized it was a DR. So he's like, you know what? Just go for a blind, sap. Let me go for a complete re-stealth. Just to reset it. Resonator. Okay. Oh, wait. Yi, does he walk out of it? Oh, if he only cloaked. If he cloaked, he would have been okay. Cloak it a little late. But if you can live long enough somehow, you maybe can at least get a kidney shot too fast. Try to go for a flesh scout. Does he have a kidney shot right now? He needs a kidney at this moment if he wants to survive. Too fast goes for a vanish with a Shadow Strike. That seems a little BM. SP trying to see if he can close the gap. Does get the dots into too fast. And looks like the rogue is going to be rotted down, having to deal with the spike that's on him still from the rogue from earlier. Fear. That's actually just bonus damage for SP. That's perfect. Cloak of Shadows for too fast, trying to avoid the resonator. Maybe one of these void eruptions will hit him. Looks like none of them were able to find too fast, and he was able to avoid it. Looks like the rogue will make a full recovery behind the pillar. Sippy Cup is going to remove any bleeds off of him and should be able to make himself a full reset. We got a Kelia over on team 1. I don't think I introduced these boys. We got a Kelia. We also got ourselves in the back. Estragon as a Shadow Priest, another one. And Zip is yet another rogue. With SP going to be up, and we already saw Yi, him playing too fast holding the fort. On his team, we got us in the back Kiosko. I like that mug. We also got us as Magic, yes. Kidney shot onto SP. Too fast with mad eviscerates. SP forced to go for disperse. Did not want to find out if that next eviscerate was going to crit or not. He's like, you know what? I'll let the cheap shot happen. Now I'll disperse because I know what's coming. I know it's coming. I don't want to find out. Stun into too fast. Does get hit with the horror bolts. It's going to be Void Charm to follow, as well as Mind Game Trinkets. That's actually maybe still dead. Oh! He's sipping up. Actually, the rogue, he did the normal move. Oh, I'm low on health. Let me grab my Sippy Juice. But that Sippy Juice, it was laced with Mind Games. It wasn't great for your health. And actually, I think that's a little bit killed him, is that Sippy Juice. SP looking for a bit of a resetty behind the pillar, just kind of messing with that pet. Kioska with a feign death. It's going to be SP charging out. Actually, Goblin Racial Fear onto Kioska, just leaping on top of him with a Fear. Stun to Kioska, does decide to go for a Human Racial. Immediate freeze trap onto SP. That's going to be a Flesh Scout with the Mind Games. Does Flesh Scout hurt you? Or what is it? Does it heal you or does it hurt you? I think the effect of Flesh Scout, the heal with Marilyn Soulbind, ends up hurting you. So I think Kioska's Aegis Trinket was able to at least absorb a good portion of it. But damn, that was a hell of a Mind Games, honestly. Like, Flesh Scout basically was here and then gone. It was here and went. SP with a Shadow Word Death to make sure the freezing trap does get broken. What a play. Mind Seer onto the bed. Quick muzzle by Kioska. Stun into SP. May have to burn a defensive. There goes the Disperse. Just trying to reduce some of that explosive damage of the Death Chakram. And just trying to wait for Kioska. That Shadow Word Death was perfect, by the way. Quick heals for SP, just trying to get himself a bit of recovery while Kioska just covering the whole, covering the arena with oil. Just doing some BP oil spills in the arena. I thought you were here to clean up beaches, but I think he may not be here for it. How are you mending Benedigen while his shadow is attacking you, by the way? How are you mending your wounds while his shadow is searing your face? I don't understand. Resonator next to Kioska, stun him right after. Does he have an out? Silence does have a turtle shell in order to break out of that Resonator, and SP with a PI. Trying to see if he can just turn the attention onto the pet. Actually, if Kioska still has VTO on him, that would allow SP to maybe have some cleave. Looking to maybe get some DPS into Kioska. Does he use Shadowboard Death here? If he uses Shadowboard Death at the right time, he'll be able to immune himself or break himself out of CC. Kioska trying to avoid the Shadow Priest as best as possible. Gonna be a Feign Death. Manic Bandages. Does SP have mobility? Mounting up, and you notice it was a chase after a Kioska, but that Steel Trap actually stopped him in place with a Megalomania getting him out in the open. Gonna be a big heal for Kioska with a Mage Food, but the pet I think was dotted so he couldn't camo properly. I think he tried to for camo. Potentially. I don't know if he got much healing. 41% damage, but a stun around the corner has a chicken for it. Mind Games onto Kioska with a Void Eruption. Kioska and traps him in Shadow, but is going to end up killing with Mind Games for a little. Freezing Trap onto the Shadow Priest. Kioska Feign Deaths it with a camo. Flash Scout, and I don't know how this priest makes it out of here alive, man. I don't know how he does it. Warlock Hellstone got burned, got himself a little bit of healing. Kioska does not have an interrupt. Gonna be that mind control onto the Hunter. At least SP can control him for a little bit longer. Maybe that'll buy him enough time to get some cooldowns. Maybe they'll give him opportunity to get another Greater Fate or something. Silence to the Kioska. Maybe can get a Horrified Void Bolt to attack him. They do fly out, but they don't quite connect. Who's gonna be up next? Still quite a lot of people on Team 1. Looks like Protojake's cam is still bugged. Maybe Estragon is gonna be up next, playing the Necrolord Shadow Priest with the Mages, which I think does a little bit more consistent damage, doesn't it? Does track him onto Estragon? Does hit him with a stun? Does Estra have any more defensive? Does go for Disperse. With the PI, could potentially make the PI still work for themselves. With a full Necrolord dot rolling in with the Mages to the dead around the corner. Maybe the Mages can add towards more damage. Kioska is gonna need the pet to taunt him in order to try to get the pet off his back for at least a little bit longer. But it looks like the Mages actually does end up attacking him. The more damage that Mages can do, the more value it's going to be for Estra. Big Death Shock him, stunned by the Shadow Priest. Death Shock him is going to burn him through him pretty quickly with grenades. That's going to be a kill shot. Missing through grenade. Also missing through Greater Fate. Trying to go for Eruption, but that's going to be over. So I think Kiosk went for Feign Death at the last second just to make sure he drops the aggro of the Shadow Priest. Akelia trying to see if he can swing around the corner. Already used their mobility as Kioska looking for a bit of recovery with a flash cut behind the pillar. Got himself some dots under Akelia. Trying to exchange it. That is an Affliction Warlock trying to get his own dots. Kioska is definitely going to have to be very careful when you use Feign Death, because if he uses it at the wrong time, he'll be in a tight spot. Does go for an interrupt on the nature. That is still full fear. Full dots around him. So right after. Does he have the Feign Death? There goes the Feign Death. Now that he got all the dots on him, that's where he faints it. They did make it so that Feign Death cannot be used nearly as often in like 9.25, I think it was, for Season 4. So it does give hunters a little bit less of that Feign Death usage, but it still keeps him plenty. It's still a pretty tanky with that ability, with a Feign Death removing all those dots off of you. You just need to time it a little bit better. Demonic give this up for Kelly. A freezing trap onto the pet, stun onto the Warlock. Does he just go down to the Death Chakra? This is going to be a big explosive with a Mortal and Kioska to the other direction. Wall for Kelly. Full dots are available. Dark Glare and everything. Does he have the most amount of burst? Death Bolt onto Kioska. Kioska does go in for the big grenade at the end, though. I don't know if he Feign Death those dots. It looks like they're still on him. Does Feign Death? Wait, Zip actually I think might just be able to one-shot him. He just pressed Feign Death. There's nothing you can do. Breathing Trap. Does Zip trinket it? Does he burn the trinket or does he stay? Looks like he decides to burn a trinket. Cloak of Shadows. He's just trying to see if he can add the full stun onto Kioska. Hits him with a Sepsis Vendetta. Does Kioska have a Feign Death back up? Or is it over? I think he's dead. 1 health. Wait, how do you live with 1 health? What is this? Wait, how do you live with 1 health? How do you live with 1 health? How are you alive? Oh my god, that wasn't even Feign Death. Until maybe like at the very, very end or something. Oh, freezing trap is trying to shut us up to the bed, but the bed breaks him out of freeze. He got all the charm traps on the floor. Kioska barely alive. At least the rogue does not have a trinket, so if Kioska can go for like a death shock and stun everything, maybe a flash cut, he may have a chance here. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get stunned by the rogue ever. Shadow Step, does he have the calm points? Get the shot, does he have the burst? Kioska, Feign Death immediately. Does Zip have opportunity to reapply those dots back into Kioska? Gonna be immediate stun into Zip, and Kioska taking him out, I believe. Oh, I think Zip just left. Yeah, Zip didn't even like die. He was like, you know what, surrender. I'm over. Kioska coming back in with a 1v3 at the end there, boys. He wanted to play a game with as little pillars as possible. That was a fair fight, right? I think that was a little bit less cheesy with pillars. Yeah, a little less cheesy. I feel like part of the hunter is always going to be like pillar gameplay and kiting, and pillars are a perfect opportunity to make that kind of like create a gap between you and the target. But yeah.